I was 12 years old, the summer I got my first bicycle. I am 75 now. I have seen wars, weddings, funerals, grandchildren, and gray hair. But when I close my eyes, I can still feel the wind on my face from that first ride down Maple Street. Funny how life works. You forget what you ate last Tuesday, but you never forget the first thing that made you feel free. We were not a rich family. My father worked long hours. My mother made every dollar stretch like magic. We didn't ask for big things. We knew better. But that summer, every girl on our street had a bicycle. Red ones, blue ones, sparkly ones with baskets, and every afternoon they'd ride past my house laughing, and I'd sit on the porch pretending I didn't mind. I told myself I was fine, but children's hearts are honest, and mine wanted to ride. My birthday came quietly that year. No party, no cake from the bakery, just my mother's homemade chocolate cake. After dinner, my father said, "Come outside, honey." In the yard, under the big oak tree, was a bicycle, blue, with white handles, a little silver bell, and a basket. Oh, that basket! I didn't scream, I didn't run, I just stood there, because I knew what it cost them. I knew my father had worked overtime. I knew my mother had saved coins in a jar. That bicycle wasn't metal, it was love. I hugged them both so tight I thought my heart would burst. The first day, I fell. The second day, I fell harder. The third day, I cried. My knees were scraped, my pride was bruised, and I told my father, "I can't do it." He smiled that quiet smile and said, "You can. I'll hold on." So he ran beside me, holding the back of the seat. And then, suddenly, he wasn't holding anymore. And I was riding, alone. Wind in my hair, sun on my face, freedom in my chest. I turned around shouting, "Daddy, look!" He was standing far behind me, smiling. That was the first time I understood what letting go means. Oh, the adventures we had. We rode everywhere. To the candy store, to the creek, to the library. We raced down dirt roads, laughing so hard we couldn't breathe. We decorated our bikes with ribbons. We shared secrets while pedaling side by side. No phones, no photos, just memories. We thought summer would last forever. We thought childhood would never end. And those rides were our wings. I remember buying ice cream with nickels, balancing cones while riding home. I remember carrying books in my basket. I remember riding to church, trying to look grown up. I remember my mother watching from the porch, hands on her apron, smiling. She'd say, "Be home before dark," and I always was, because home was where love waited. One day, I crashed, hard. The bike got scratched. I cried more for the bicycle than my knee, because I knew how precious it was. My father didn't scold me. He wiped the dirt off and said, "Things get worn when they're loved." I never forgot that. Not about bicycles, not about people. Years passed. The bicycle got smaller as I got taller. One day, it stayed in the garage. Then it was gone, given to a neighbor's little girl. I didn't even notice when it left. That's how growing up works. It happens quietly, without asking permission. Now, at 75, I think about that bicycle often, not because it was fancy, but because it was my parents' love in the shape of freedom. They didn't have much, but they gave me joy. They gave me confidence. They gave me memories that still ride beside me. Every time I see a child on a bicycle, I smile because I know how big that little gift really is. That blue bicycle rusted away long ago, but the feeling never did. If you were lucky enough to have parents who gave you something they could barely afford, hold that memory close, because love is not measured in money. It's measured in sacrifices we didn't see until we were grown. This is Moments We Remember, and tonight, we rode again. The bicycle is gone, but the love that bought it still rides with me. My first bicycle. The day my life changed. A gift I'll never forget. Honey, I've told you my story tonight about a little girl and her first bicycle. That bicycle is gone now, but the love that bought it still rides with me. Sometimes I sit here, holding this old bell, and I can still hear my parents laughing, calling me home before dark. And it makes me smile, because memories don't grow old, they just grow softer. Now, I want to ask you something, sweetheart. What was your first bicycle like? Was it bright red, sky blue, sunshine yellow, or maybe mint green with a basket in front? Who gave it to you? Your mama? Your daddy? A grandparent who loved you very much? Tell me your story in the comments. I would love to hear it, because every bicycle
carries a memory, and every memory carries love. If this story touched your heart, please stay with me here on Moments We Remember. We'll share more memories, more laughter, and more love together. Good night, honey. Sleep peacefully. And don't forget, your childhood is still smiling at you somewhere in your memories.